everyone. Welcome. Welcome to day 2 of our Design Academy. I'm Abby. I'm on the product marketing team here at Houzz. I get to work super closely with our design community to kind of learn from you guys. What things are you liking? What are you not liking? And then work with our product and engineering teams to make improvements to our software to make things work better for you so that you can work as smart as possible and make your clients as happy as possible. And we also have with us today, Jane. She's going to be presenting to us. Jane, would you like to introduce yourself?
Sure. Thank you guys for being here today. I am a client onboarding specialist on the onboarding team, but previously I was also a client success manager, a SGM or strategic growth manager, and I also have been on the product support team. So that line you call to get support, that is where I used to work. But yeah, all across the board, I've been working on the software for 3.5 years now, and I'm excited to go over some cool features with you today.
Absolutely. Yeah. So some of the features that we plan to cover today, we'll be covering the 3D floor planner, selection boards, the client dashboard, as well as support. So we've got some great content coming at you. If you have any questions as we go throughout the presentation, feel free to add those questions into the chat or the Q&A. I will be facilitating those questions and making sure that they get into Jane's ears so that she can answer them for you, or I'll help answer when I can. But first, we'll kick things off with just a quick poll. Just want to learn about your goals in attending today's academy. And then we'll do one more question just about what features are you hoping to get more training on throughout this academy series. So we're going to start with one, and I'm going to go ahead and send the second one too. And if you guys will just go ahead and answer those things, that'll give Jane a second to share her screen, and then we'll kick things off. All right, Jane.
All right. Let me quickly share my screen here. Are you guys able to? There you go. You guys should see my demo account in front of you. So we're first going to start with the sample project that I have. So I'm just going to go to the left-hand bar and pull up that project. This one is titled Kitchen and Bathroom. And we're first going to start with the 3D floor plan. So I'm going to go into the 3D floor plan tab on the left-hand side. And there are actually a few ways to create a 3D floor plan. We have the LiDAR scanning tool, which is a feature that you can pull up on your mobile app. The app is free. It comes with your program. You would just log in with your respective credentials. I'm going to quickly show you a video. There's not going to be any audio, but this pro is just using their iPad to scan a room. You can scan a room, you can scan hallways, a full house, just like this. Nice. Now, it's going to scan the furniture as well, anything really in the way. A lot of our designers and builders don't want anything in the 3D floor plan. So there is a button where you can toggle off and turn the furniture off, and you'll be left with the structure of the space. Right. Now on the mobile app, you can't really add anything to it after scanning. This is just a more on-the-go tool. You will then hop back onto your computer, and that 3D floor plan will be there waiting for you to use. That's when you will add your cabinetry, your decor, your flooring, painting, everything else. We also have a 2D plan version. So if I click into this little button here, we can upload a drawing, which I have for us today. Let's try this one. You can drag and drop. There we go. So we have two options. We have the manual and we have the automate option. So I'm just going to click the automate one because that's going to be a lot faster for you. We'll click continue and we are going to scale it. So let's just grab a wall. Any wall is fine. I'm going to drag this line and I'm going to tell them how long this is. So let's say this is going to be 20 feet and I'm going to set my default wall height to 9. And then I'm going to click convert to floor plan. In just a few seconds, we're taking our 2D drawing into a 3D. This helps my pros save a lot of time outside of the LiDAR scanning tool if they're not able to scan it. And then this is when we would add everything. So let's just give this a couple more seconds.
And if you don't know, so automate is going to be the name that you see throughout the system. That's going to be our AI tool. So anytime you see automate, that means that AI is helping us do something. So there's lots of cool AI functionality throughout Houzz Pro.
Exactly, yes. And so this is our traced image. If it missed anything, you're simply just going to grab this little pencil on the top corner and you can just connect the dots. There will be orange dots where the drawing is not finished. So I can end that there. I can grab that pencil and clean this up again. So the AI missed that, but now I'm I'm completely done with everything. The yellow indicates that you have trace mode on. And so since I'm happy with this, I'm just going to turn the trace mode off. And now I am left with a scaled floor plan for us to start on. On the left-hand side, the corner, we will see a lot of tools. So under new floor, we're able to add different floors. We can add up to 6. On the left-hand corner, we have the select button. This is for when we want to select into a room or select into a product, which I can show you later. We have the panning tool, so you'll grab and move the screen. This is good for bigger homes, especially if I'm super zoomed in. I can move this around with that tool. We have the draw walls tool. If I ever, let's say the drawing didn't catch the porch area or like a sunroom, I can just click, 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 and then double click to close off that space. Okay. We also have the outdoor surface area. So if I grab that pencil, let's say I want to add a backyard, I can just click, click. Same thing as a normal wall. And we have guidelines here so that your lines are straight, but here is my outdoor space. We can add bricks here. We have turf, we have pools. All your materials are going to be right here for you to use, and you can explore that in your own time. I can also show you some options that we have right here. If you want to add some like grass, like some turf within my pavers, I can just go into here and add some grass to my pavement. So I'll click here. I'll go into outdoor landscaping. I'll click into grass, and we have the short grass option. And as you can see right here, I just added grass to my pavement. All right. Any questions before I move forward?
I think that I've answered all of them. I think that a good one to point out that somebody asked was just about what devices the room scan's available on. It is only going to be available on iPhones that are the newer ones that incorporate the LiDAR scanning. And then I believe also iPad Pro. Is that right, Jane?
Yes, iPad Pro. If you have 2 cameras, it's just going to ask you to manually click into each corner. If you have 3 cameras, it's going to do everything that the video showed right here.
Okay, awesome. And then there was another question about assigning that scan to a room or to a project. And so you would just go ahead and do that right on your app. So once you finish the scan, you're going to hit complete, and then it's going to ask you where you want to assign it to. So it's super easy. It's going to prompt you through the whole process on your phone.
Yes, exactly. And then on your computer, you just click into the project that you saved it under, and it'll be there waiting for you.
Exactly. Okay. I think you're good to keep going.
Awesome. So I have the split room tool. Now this is a pretty big floor plan. So I'm actually going to hop into one I have created. It's a little more zoomed in and easier to use. So I'm going to click the draw split, and I'm going to start my split here, drag it, and then double click it. And I'm going to click into the space that I want to change the flooring. We have a lot of options. We have carpet, laminate, solid tile, solid hardwood, and tile. So if I clicked into tile, let's say I want to choose this one right here. As you can see, we split the room. Right, so that's the split tool. We have the measurement tool. If I want to show the client how long something is, I would measure with that. We have the reset view. So as I click into this, it's just going to reset my point of view on the floor plan. We have our zoom in, zoom out, and then we have our snapping tool. So what the snapping tool is for whenever I add items. A lot of times it's used for cabinetry. If I add the cabinetry, try to add it back. If you zoom in closely here, you can kind of see that the cabinets can overlay. But if I have the snapping tool, it's just going to flawlessly snap that for me. Okay, this is a great tip, not just for the cabinets, but other features here as well, like hardware. We also have the comments feature. So let's say I want to drop a comment here in the living room. I'll type that in here and it will save for my clients. We have the camera. We're going to talk more about this later, but this is actually one of my favorite tools in Houzz Pro. It is the realistic images tool. So later I'll show you how to do it, and I'll show you some examples of ones I've done already. And then lastly, we can customize the view of the floor plan. If I want to hide the grid or the rulers or even the labels, I can hide those there. And we have our unit of measurement. Right now I have it set as feet, but we can also set it to meters. All right. So when you come into your 3D floor plan, most of the time it'll be pretty much empty. So that's when we're going to go onto the right-hand side. This is where you go to add your structures, your products, your placeholders. And we're first going to start with these structures. So that's when we can edit our default wall height. We can add a ceiling in here. I will add a cathedral ceiling right now. You can edit your ceiling height and even the base of the peak as well. And then the color, which we'll talk more about. We have Benjamin Moore and Sherwin-Williams options. We also have doors, French doors I can customize. So for example, I'm just going to click into this door right here. And as I bring it into my 3D floor plan, it's always going to be highlighted for me so I know which one it is. I'm just going to snap it into this wall right here and show you guys what that would look like. There we go. And I'm going to customize it. So it comes in 69 by 82, but I can do whatever I want here. I'm going to make this a little taller. We have our finishes. We can choose the paint color. We have Benjamin Moore and Sherwin-Williams, so I can switch into these two. If you know the name of the color, you can even type it and pull it up just like that. I can change the hardware color, which I'll do right here. And as you can see, I have just customized this beautiful door. Okay. We also have stairs that are all customizable as well, staircases. Let's click into this one right here. Let me show you a better view of that right there. All aspects of this are going to be customizable, from the dimensions to the railings, all this hardware right here. I'm just going to choose like a crazy combo, but doing that just to show you all the things that you can customize. Okay, let's remove that from the floor plan. Your arches, your fireplaces, wall openings, all of that is going to be found in the structures. But we're going to go over to the generic products. This is where you're going to find the sports card to put into the garage. Your elliptical, right? A lot of placeholders that we don't have on houzz.com are going to be found in here. We also have your cabinetry, which is a lot of where my pros would come in here from. So for example, if I typed in cabinets, we have a lot for you to choose from. We have different bases. And if I click into one right here and add it, we have different dimensions. If you're not happy with these dimensions, you can just exit out and you'll find a different set. Okay, so for example, this one, I want to make it a little larger. Right here, we have different panel styles. So I can change this into a beater board, even like a cathedral glass. We have lots of different options. The material, I want to do a marble, for example. The edge design, I want it to be a rounded bull nose. The overhang I can customize. So if I want to do a kitchen island and decide how much I want it to hang out, I can edit that right there. The hardware, I'm going to do a basic knob, and then I'm going to choose the color and then the hardware style of this as well. Awesome. So when we go back into the floor plan, I think we're standing actually right on top of it. So let me move this over here, and I can actually change the direction of that. There we go. Oh, let me reset my page. Sorry, my Wi-Fi has been a little slow today. There we go. So as I turn around, this is the countertop that I just edited. Now, if I want to do multiples of these and I don't want to customize each one, that is really an easy fix. I would just click into the product and I can click the shift button on my keyboard and I can customize all of these countertops and cabinets together. All right. I can also click in right here and move it here, but I can also do it in the dollhouse view. So if I prefer to do it this way, it's a little easier to see. All right, so that was the generic products section. All the items here are going to be customizable in terms of colors and dimensions. We have our sourcing button here, and these are all products on our houzz.com page. So if I clicked into furniture, let's say I want to add the standing Jack and Jill sink, I can add it to my floor plan. Now they sell it in 84 by 40, but I can actually customize this like everything else. If I ever want to buy the product, I can click this link and it will take you to the original page. Right. There we go? Oh, where did it go? There we go. That is the product there from the source. We have a lot of options for you to discover here. The upload drawing is the feature that I showed you previously where I uploaded my blueprint and I scaled it. Cameras we'll talk about in a bit, but we also have my products. Now, on the right-hand side, you'll see how many credits you're given. Depending on the tier that you're on, you'll have a different amount of credits, but these will refresh every single month. So for example, let's say there's a product that we don't have in Houzz. So you're not happy with the placeholders, you can't find it on houzz.com. You can actually bring in your own products here. This is a really loved tool ever since we launched it, right, Abby? Our pros have been asking about this for a long time. So now we finally have it. You can bring in any product you want to bring in. So for example, let's say I want to bring in this table. I'm going to click convert to 3D. You just want to make sure that the background of our image is nice and clean, not the staged image. So I'm just going to click continue. And all we need to do is we just need to click the parts of the product. So the top, I'm going to highlight the base and the bottom until the image is complete. And I'm going to click generate product. And I'm just going to close it. It's just going to take a few minutes. And on the bottom left-hand corner, I will receive a notification once that's done. And we'll be able to use it. All right. But I'm going to remove the standing sink and I'm going to show you how to customize everything. So we have different wall options. We have Benjamin Moore and Sherwin-Williams paint colors, as I mentioned, but we also have shiplap. So let's click into this wall. I'm going to click into the wall style. Up at the top, instead of paint, I'm going to go into interior and I'm going to go into shiplap. And let's say I want to add this one or this one. Or this one. I can also use this wall to show you a different type of wall. So instead of paint, we'll go to interior and we can do concrete, stone slabs, stone. This is usually used for exteriors, but we can also use it inside as well. And then we also have tiles. So if you want to do backsplashes, walk-in showers, you can use our tiles. All right. Flooring, we have as I mentioned earlier, we have the solid hardwood, but we also have carpet and tile. I personally love the tile tool. I think it's really detailed. If I click into, for example, this one, in the walkthrough view, you can see the tile that's been added. And then I can also customize how I want the tile to be seen too. Right here, if I click into the floor style, let's click in here. There we go. You can see the floor area and the measurements of what it's been attached to. Right. And then some of the tiles give you, some of the wood options give you an option to how wide you want the wood slab to be. All right. Any questions so far?
Yes, I'm going through some of them now. Stephanie asked, are we going to be adding moldings and the ability to have half wall paneling? I believe that is coming out soon. I have seen the designs for that, so that should be coming soon. Let's see. Does it pull in the correct dimensions when you add in a product? Chelsea asked that question. Yes, it's going to pull in the correct dimensions. I'm guessing you're talking about with a 2D to 3D. So you actually can set those dimensions yourself. So it will pull them in accurately. And then retail products, are they customizable only to the sizes that they're available in? So for like the source tab, for example, from Houzz Pro, you can customize it however you want, but you just have to be aware of the fact that you probably need to have that custom built. So if you change the dimensions, you're probably going to have to spend a lot of money with an artisan to build that for you, but you can change them. Let's see. Let me see if there's any others that I missed. Lots of people asking about making sure that you can use like a 2D plan. You can use a 2D plan. You can draw a plan from scratch. You can scan it using your iPhone Pro. Any of those options are available to you. So there's multiple ways for you to use that Houzz Pro 3D floor plan tool. Let's see. And Michelle, I think that I just answered that, but yes, you can manually draw your own rooms. That would just be with that draw functionality up at the top. Jane, would you mind circling around that?
Yeah, of course. It's going to be this line right here. So pretending that this space is empty, I would just click, 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 click. I can, get a little weird with it, and then double click if to close the space. If the space is not closed, it's not going to add the flooring for me. So you just want to grab that pencil and make sure that it's closed.
Right. Awesome.
The closer you are.
Sorry, go ahead.
Sorry. I just wanted to highlight, the closer you are, the more accurate your measurements are going to be if you really care about that.
Mm-hmm.
And see it better.
Victoria, unfortunately, there is not an Android option for scanning right now. It's only going to be for iPhone right now. But something that I find that a lot of designers do, so there's obviously some designers use SketchUp, some designers use AutoCAD, all of those fun things, right? Designers are still using this for like space planning purposes. Like, what size sofa can I fit in here? And maybe there's some of you who don't know how to use those tools. You're not into drawing. Like, this can be a really great in-between tool for you to kind of figure out the space, figure out what size sofa, what size rug you can fit in a space, all of those fun things right inside Houzz Pro. So it makes it really nice for you. So you can still do both if you want, or use it for a specific use. So it makes things super nice. Do you know if you can draw a sloped wall, Sophia? I don't think you can.
I don't think you can do a sloped wall. Not yet.
You could do the ceiling, but I don't think that you can do a sloped wall.
Yeah, we have like a cathedral ceiling, and we can just submit that as feedback to our product team.
Yeah, I'll definitely share that with our product manager. Thank you for asking that. If anybody else has any questions, feel free to drop them in the chat. We'll get them answered. Okay.
All right. I think we're
not seeing anything come through. Oh, can you make a wall that closed and visible? I'm not sure what you mean by that, but if you wouldn't mind dropping some more clarification, that would be super helpful.
Oh, the ceiling. Let me go into.
Yeah, so we could look at that. There was a slope ceiling on there too, actually. If you go back to choose the ceiling.
Let's go.
Yeah.
Let me click it. Sorry.
Yeah. So like that shed ceiling is kind of like a nice slope ceiling. So you could probably use that functionality, Sophia. So that way you could do that.
Mm-hmm.
Does it have beams? Do we have beams in there?
Not yet.
No. Okay. No beams yet. And then the question was, can you make a wall that closed and visible? Like if you need a closed room, but one wall open.
One wall. So they can look into the room, I'm assuming?
I think so.
Okay. We would have the feature where you can walk into the walls. And then if you're viewing from the dollhouse view, if I zoomed out, if I'm facing the wall, it will open it.
Okay.
So it's smart like that, but there's no feature where we can show half the room open if that's what she's asking.
I think so. Let us know if that's not what you're looking for, though. And then Vino asked, how can I design a patio extension with a gable roof? Do you know, can you show them a little bit about patios?
Yeah, so in the outdoor space, let me draw just an outdoor space real quick. Let me grab that. So let's say this is my little backyard. On the right-hand side, so under generic products, we have some patios. Oh, actually, Abby, is it on the outdoor products? Don't remember where that went. I remember that being here. Give me 1 second here.
There you go.
I think we moved it around. Okay. Give me 1 second. I don't remember where we moved it to. The patio. Oh.
There's the decking, that sort of thing. I think you're there.
So yeah, we have the decks here. I'm trying to look for the, are they talking about like a pergola or just the deck area?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, so yeah, all the decks are here. We have all the outdoor spaces here. So if you're looking for like a pool, this is where you would go to find it. Let's go back to the materials. I think they're asking to show a pool. So we have, oh, that's not the pool. Let's go back here. Sorry, they moved this around so I'm looking to find it. I mean, do you remember where they put the pool, or is it just customizable like that?
I think it's just customizable.
Okay, so yeah, you can customize it here depending on the space. Let me get back to you on that. I think we have like different pool shapes. At least we used to. I just need to find it. So I apologize about that. Custom wallpaper, yes, you can add custom wallpaper, roof with roof shingles. Gabby, do you know where you would, or Abby, sorry, do you know where you would be able to find the roof shingles? I'm not sure if we have that as an option. I don't think so.
I am looking. Let me see.
And then while you do that,
I don't think that we have custom roof shingles. I believe that there's a couple options you can choose from, but I'm not sure.
Okay, I'll get back to you guys on that.
Yeah.
The wallpaper I do want to show you. So we'll just use this wall right here, and I'll click into the wall style. Up at the top, under interior, we have wallpaper. Different options for you here. So that's what it would look like. All right. Michelle asked, will it be able to turn into 4D room planner I've been using? If you take a photo of it from the photo option, it will turn the 3D. Yes, we will go into the realistic images tool soon. Is there a possibility to do exterior design customization? The exterior, we have exterior wall options, if that is what you're asking. So under exterior, we have concrete, we have brick, stone. So I can just apply a brick to this exterior right here. You can see it more in the walkthrough view, but we have different options there.
Yes, and we're adding additional functionality there. They're adding some new options like board and batten, that sort of thing. So it's coming soon. And then people are asking about uploading their own custom wallpaper, not the wallpaper that we have inside Houzz.
Right now, that wouldn't be an option, but I know we are working on it.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. I think we're all caught up on the questions.
I've got one more. So can you modify the height of the kitchen countertop, for example? I had a kitchen that had two different height counters. So you should be able to.
So we have set dimensions here, but if you're not happy with the set that they give you, you can always go back into the generic products and type in cabinet, for example, and we'll have different sets for you. So scrolling down here, you can attach two different bases together if that's not working out for you, but these are generically the like the industry set that we have. We have more options like this.
Awesome. And then if you wouldn't mind going back to the 2D to 3D, Kat asked if you can use the products that they've already clipped. The answer is yes. So that's what that My Products is down at the bottom. If you don't mind clicking on that, Jane, it's going to pull just like you would see in selections, the items, and then you can convert them into 3D. And like Jane said, there's credits up at the top. So based on your plan, you have a certain amount of credits to be able to convert products.
Speaking of that, it says that my product is ready to be viewed. So I'm very happy with this. I can click next. And then I think someone asked earlier if they can, customize the dimensions, and you can. I can just put that in here. But if I'm happy with it, I will click Save Product. So let's say I want to do 5 by 4 by 5. Happy with it, click Save Product. It's now going to be ready for me to use right here. So I'll just add this to our space right there. And then in the walkthrough, not 5 feet, 5 inches. It'll be by inches, but here is our little baby table. Anything you've converted, it'll stay in your library. So even after the month expires, the credits will refresh, and then you'll also have your products to use. So this is a little disc pillow that I did earlier this week. It's kind of like a velvety pillow, as you can see right here. All right. Any questions before we move forward?
No, I think we've gone through them all, so we are good to keep going.
Beautiful. So I'm going to talk about the realistic images tool. I'm actually going to go stand in this little corner right here and take a good look at my finished work. I'm going to angle it just like that and click the camera at the top and click create new camera. Now we have default heights that it's going to set it as, but you can also customize it. If I want it to be a little higher, if I want it to have a little tilt, I can move it up and down. And then lastly, field of view is going to be kind of like that wide lens. but I'm happy with this. I'm going to leave it as is. And then I'm going to click generate realistic photo image. And in a few minutes, I'm going to receive a notification that AI was able to convert my image into a more realistic one. I have some examples that I have ready, so I'll just click into those. So we have one right here with kind of the same template. Now the tile is more of a cooler tone tile. Same thing with the ceiling paint and the wall paint. We have this one with the same template, but the walls are a little warmer and the wood flooring is a little warmer. So it will change the lighting, but it does add that lighting. Here's another template we have of a kitchen. You guys have this template inside of your estimate, or sorry, your 3D floor plans already. And then we also have a bathroom one that I did recently. All right, I can click exit, but I can also choose to add more cameras in different rooms and take more images. All your images are going to be available for you under the Files and Photos section. So when I go back to my project, it'll be waiting for you here under the Files and Photos. All right, going back into that 3D floor planner. I can share this with my client by clicking share. I can enter their email, and as I mentioned earlier, they can see it in the floor plan view, the dollhouse view, and the walkthrough view. All right. And once I'm done with this, I can actually convert this to a proposal. So a lot of things in Houzz are meant to be converted to save you time. The 3D floor plan is going to be one of them. So I'll click the proposal button. I'm going to be reviewing all of my items. If I wanted to take something out, so for example, let's say I want to remove the windows or remove some of my placeholders or my products, my source products, I can just turn them off like this. But I'm just going to carry this over. I'm happy with everything. Click propose. The proposal is going to be created, and then I can add my design fees, my subcontractor fees on top of all my measurements and my 3D floor plan lines. If I at this point want to remove something, I can just click into the section or click into each line, and then I can delete these items. Any questions on converting a 3D floor plan into a proposal?
Nope, you're good to keep going.
All right, so we're going to go to the main page of the project. We just touched on the 3D floor plans for the last 30 minutes, but now we're going to go into the the selections board. So up here, we have a visual tool for you to send to your homeowners. I'm going to show you a created one and also create one with you guys. So if I click into the kitchen one, you will see up top a mood board that I created for this homeowner and also the 3D floor plan that I just created. Scrolling down here, I have all my products in their respective categories. Scrolling down here, we have flooring, solid surface, electrical, etc. And I added all these items by going to my items tab. If you guys are familiar with the Houzz Pro Clipper tool, which I think you guys talked about yesterday, all of my items that I've clipped will show up for you right here. That's my library. So I can just click onto that and then it's going to show up for me at the top. It's not assigned, so I can just create a new section for it or assign it to the respective section, which I'll show you guys in a bit. I can also set a budget here as well. So for example, let's say, I set a budget of $76,000 and I'm going to click include in budget. Every time I click include in budget, this number is going to go up. If I exceed the budget set, it's going to turn red for me, basically telling me to stop shopping or look for cheaper options for my homeowner. All right. You can also chat your client. So for example, this little chat box, I can click into it. After I share this selections board with them, I can share the chat, which they'll be able to get notified on. So let's say like, hey, Clara, this is, matte. You can't tell in the photo, but it is matte. I've actually included a glossy version as well. So you can give those notes to your clients, or you can also chat your team. This is internal, so your client will not be able to see it. If I click this link right here, it's going to take me to where I've sourced through the link. So it'll always show you, typically this is hidden from the client, but if you want, you can also show them. I will show you how to do that later on. If you click this little I button right here, you can see all the information that carried over when you first click the item. So that clipper tool, as a reminder, what it is it's an extension on your Google Chrome toolbox, and then you are able to clip any item within your vendor sites, and that's going to save here. So anything you save within that little box on the side is also going to show for you here. I can also click into these three little dots. I can change the size from small, medium to large. I can also set an image as my cover image. That way on the dashboard, it is a pretty look and it's not empty. Okay. All right. Any questions before we move forward?
Yes. So Kristen asked about a good way to present client options, like if they want to recommend to choose this or that. So you can actually use sections to do that. So if you'll show them how to create a section. So if you create a section, you could maybe call it plumbing fixtures, right? And then you could put maybe a gold faucet and a black faucet, or a walnut dining table and an oak dining table. You can put them together and like organize this exactly how you want. And then when you preview and share that, you can kind of see what your client's going to see. So they'll be able to look at this visually side by side and see what they need to make decisions on. And then they can approve or decline. So you could write here in the description and say, please only choose one, that sort of thing. So that'd be a great way for you to be able to present and have your customer choose options, Kristen.
Yes. You can drag and drop them up here and organize them that way.
Yeah. So if you had two different options, you just put them side by side like that.
Mm-hmm. And then I would just create a new section up top right here for any other sections as well. Yep. Under brand catalogs, we have Home Depot. If you have a pro account, you can log in and pull up the catalog. You can still use the catalog without it. And we have every single product on Home Depot here for you to use and add it to the left-hand side. The 3D floor plan that's respective to the project will show up here. Otherwise, unassigned, you'll see all the 3D floor plans. Mood boards, if you have one created under this room, which is the kitchen room, you can pull it up. Otherwise, you can go into your unassigned and pull it up there. Okay. The images you can upload through your computer, as well as any files that you will need to add. Okay. So I'm going to pull up a new one from scratch and do this one with you guys. So let's call this the office. Click Create. We're starting with a blank page. On the right-hand side, my items. I'm just going to click into these right here. So you can section them off by accessories, kitchen furniture, bathroom furniture, office furniture. So for this one, I'm just going to click into a new section and call this furniture. And then I can drag all my furniture up into this space right here. If I want to add another section called, office desk materials, I can, if I'm creating like a customized desk, I can pull up different slabs of different items and pull it into that section, into this section. All right. I'm going to set a budget up here for 3,000. Then I also can add tax and shipping costs and add what my tax rate is. Okay, and then click done. Anytime I click include in budget, that is going to go up right here. All right, so going back into this one, I'm going to show you how to share it. So I'm going to click preview and share. This is exactly what my client is going to see, a great visual tool of them to click yes or no on the product. So they'll be able to see any comments that you've left them in the past. But this is customizable. So up at the top under view settings, I can show my budget on the right-hand side. I can turn off pricing if you'd like. The product link is defaulted to not show, but you can turn these on if you ever want them to buy it themselves. Otherwise, I will turn that off. These settings will default. So anytime you go to create a new selections board, you will not have to redo these. All right. Under approvals, we have different parameters for what you want the homeowner to approve. For example, they can approve the mood board and the floor plan right now, but if I don't want them to do that, I can go in here and I can turn off the mood boards and floor plans. All right. Would you mind showing me how to add the tax and shipping again? Sure. So this is the preview of what the homeowner is looking at, but I can go back into my draft mode. And then up top under edit, we can put in the tax and the shipping cost. Typically, you can set up your, you would set up your tax rates in the beginning. You have multiples you can choose from, and then a default one that you can set. I hope that answers your question. I'm going to click preview and share. Again, this is what the client will be seeing. So I can click share and the client's email is going to default for me and I can click send. All right, going back to the selections board, let's just pretend that the homeowner had approved this document. We can click convert and I can select all the ones that they've approved and convert this into an invoice or a proposal. Okay. Down here, we have items from other selections boards. So I have my breakfast nook in here, my office in here as well. All of these are pending, but pretending that they're approved, I'm just going to click convert and convert this into a proposal. The images, the description, the price, everything that I carry on with me while I'm clipping it is going to show up for me here. And I believe you guys talked about proposals yesterday, but you can customize it. So if I want to turn off the image or hide the description, you can when sharing with the homeowner. All right.
Awesome. Could you go back into selection boards for a second? Vino had a great question. How do we use allowances during approval? So right now, what I would recommend is that you create a board organized by allowance. So if you will back out, Jane, and then say, for example, just create a board called plumbing. So this is a great way for you to be able to organize your selections by allowance. You don't have to create them by room. You can actually create them by allowance. So if we make this board plumbing, we can add all of the plumbing fixtures for the entire house or the entire project right onto this board. And then up at the top where you see the budget, you can actually adjust that amount. So maybe you have $15,000 to spend on plumbing fixtures for this project. Then as you go, you can bring in the actual products, the actual plumbing fixtures, add them in. You can section them out how you need to section them out. Maybe you want to create sections for rooms and then organize it that way so your customer can see all the plumbing at once and then also see it split by room. Then as they're approving things, it's tracking against the budget. You're seeing what they're spending. You're seeing those approvals in real time so that you can make sure that you're staying on top of those allowances. And we're building additional functionality for allowances right now, but that's going to be your best bet for doing that right now.
Yeah. These are not plumbing tools, but yeah, you can definitely also add them from the Home Depot catalog or your library here as well.
Yeah, definitely. And my recommendation there would be, if you have like lots of sinks that you use or toilets or plumbing fixtures, you can actually categorize them that way inside your library. So that way it makes it really easy for you next time to come back in and bring those things back into the into your selection boards. Let's see. Mignon asked, can you add chair rail and other architectural items? You can literally add anything you want into a selection board. So if you can clip it, you can add it to your selection board. You can pull in an image, even if it's literally like a magazine image that you take on your phone and get on your computer. You can create a product that way. You can pretty much do anything that you want and then bring those details onto the actual board. So like if you look back at that selection board that we had, like I had like a fluting detail. If you go back to the sample project on the kitchen, Jane, it has like a fluted detail for the cabinet. And I put that information in there. So that way, when it gets shared to the cabinet guy, they know exactly what they're looking for. And then Stephanie asked, can sections have a sub budget? We don't have that functionality right now, but we are planning to add budgets to the actual sections. So you could have the overall budget up at the top and then also budgets for the individual section. So I'm glad to hear you're interested in that because that's something that we're working on building. And then last, I know I've been talking a lot. Elizabeth asked, are there other libraries? So there's not any other built-in libraries right now. We are working with partners to add in more library options. But with that said, you can still clip from anywhere on the internet. You just need the Houzz Pro Clipper tool. It's a Google Chrome extension, and then you can clip product information still very quickly. And so that's a great way to kind of speed up the process.
Sounds good. Mignon, also one more thing, if you're not able to clip it, you can just go directly to the source, aka the library, and just add it here. So Abby mentioned earlier, if you had like a picture of a magazine or if you bought something at like a warehouse sale, you can upload this with the same template. This is going to pull into the same library. How I got here was just by going to company and my items, and all your services and products are going to be living in here.
Awesome. That's also a great place for you to go to if you need to update things. I know some of our larger teams like to go in there and like delete delete products they're not using anymore, or they want to change the category and organize it more, that's a great tool for you to get in there and kind of organize your library.
Nice. All right, the last feature we're going to go into today is the client dashboard. This is really loved by our pros. It's great for the client relationship management. I know you guys really care about how things look on the client side. So this dashboard is basically what I like to call the homeowner's mini Houzz Pro. So they have access to everything that you've shared, and it's all going to be here in one place. So let's say you send a mood board and a 3D floor plan. Instead of having to go back to their email and dig for it, they can actually find it in their dashboard. Now, the best part about the dashboard is they don't need to log into anything. They don't need to, set up a password and an account. They can simply come in here and see everything as long as you share this with them through email or a link. So when I click share, you can copy the link and send it to them, or you can send it through email. They'll click into this and everything that you've ever sent to them is going to show up here. You can also turn things off or, hide it, but just because you hide it does not mean it's going to unsend it through that email. All right. If you update something, let's say you've updated a 3D floor plan, it's also going to update in here. All right. So this is pretty customizable. At the top, I've created my cover image. I just grabbed that, but I can also add my own image here. You can add a company video by clicking add widget and video. We also have a text block you can add if you want to have a little business description here, or just like a heads up to your clients. You can add that at this spot right here. And then lastly, we have the weather widget. So right here, as long as the address is legit, might have a fake address in here, but as long as you have a real one, the weather is going to populate for that day. Right. On the left-hand side, we have a lot of tabs. So under customize, we're able to turn things on and turn things off. Right. And then scrolling down, we have our message history. So this is the same chat portal that you would have within your project. So all emails and text messages can show up for you in one place. Let's say the client opens a proposal and she has a question on it. She can say, hey, Jane, I just read proposal 10001 and I didn't understand line item 1. Like, can you explain what that is? They can always chat you within this portal. That way all your messages are in one place and all your team members can see it in one place. Contracts I have shared with the client, so that's going to show up for me here. Financial documents, I haven't shared that publicly, so it's not going to show up for me because we haven't gone to the proposal stage. Selections board, mood boards, 3D floor plans, I've shared that with the client. Down here, we have tasks, and what that is basically we have internal tasks and client tasks. So internal tasks would be like telling your team member to make sure that you go to the client's house and do a walkthrough. Right. Those tasks are not going to show on the dashboard, but you can also assign tasks to the client. So for this one, I have reviewed the selections board and put in a retainer. That is what I'm assigning to the client. And so she can see her task right here. Schedule and files and photos. I intentionally have not shared that. And I'm going to show you where to do that. And then daily logs, you can also see those here. Okay. So it's only what you share with the client that will show up here. So going back to that project, if I'm sharing a proposal or a 3D floor plan or mood board to the client manually, that's going to show up on the dashboard. But there are also some internal tools that mainly your team will be using where you can select to share. So for example, we'll start with files and photos. Typically, this is used as an internal feature, but if I ever want to share it with the client, I can select the PDFs or the images that I want to share, click this little button on the top right-hand corner and give them access on the dashboard. So later when we go back on the dashboard, these two images will show up for me there. All right. The schedule the schedule tool is the same thing. So if I click into the schedule, right now this is internal, but if I click share, I can give them access. This works really similarly to the subcontractor view as well. Subcontractors don't have to log into anything. They just click into your invite link and they have access to what you've shared with them. All right. Same thing with the tasks and punch list. I can create my task here. These are typically internal, but I can assign this to a team member, which this one I have assigned to my client right here. And then also the subcontractors. So now this shows up on my dashboard. Daily logs. Let's say I want to click into this daily log and I want to share it with my client. On the right-hand corner, I'll click share and give them access on the dashboard. And then lastly, we have the finance. Oh, no. Yeah, I believe those are all the sharing tools. Any questions so far on the dashboard?
I think that we are good on the dashboard. We've got a couple other questions though. Could you quickly show creating templates for schedules or tasks?
Yeah, sure. So under company, we have templates, and then we have your schedules down here. So we have some basic ones that we've created for you, but after you've created a schedule and you're happy with it, you can actually save it. So let me go into a schedule right now. Schedule, and on the right-hand side under actions, I can click save as template. And then you can apply it to your different projects. Great question.
If you ever want the same thing for tasks too.
Yes, same thing for tasks. So let's go into tasks. So we have something called punch lists that our pros have been loving, but you could also do that with tasks. On the left-hand side, you can go to actions and then click save all as template.
And I believe you can also like select multiple. So if you don't want to include all of the tasks, you want to only include certain ones, you can do that to create that template.
Yes. Same goes for punch list. So let's say you have the same list of tasks that you need to do for every kitchen template, or sorry, kitchen project. You would create your punch list here, save it as a template, and apply it to your next kitchen project. Yeah, punch list is pretty simple too, just like the task list. So if I click add new task down here or up here, I can do product sourcing, and then once I click into that, I can assign it to a team member or a subcontractor, and I'll just keep adding that. Now, there are different places you can add your tasks. They all come and live in this one space. So you can add tasks in the dashboard, in the daily logs. You can also do it on the schedule or the tasks page. They'll all be found here.
And also the punch list is going to be most helpful for you, like when a project is closing out, like maybe there's a scuff on something and you need to get it fixed, or maybe you had a custom cabinet installed and the cabinet guy needs to come back and touch up paint. Like those are the types of things that you would track inside of your punch list. Whereas tasks would be things that like you're kind of regularly doing for the project. So maybe that's the thing that you template is your task list. And that could be like schedule a client meeting, send the questionnaire, send this, send the client a gift, like those things that are kind of recurring. And then the punch list is kind of like project by project basis. It's the oopsies, the things that happen that you need to track and kind of make sure that things are going well. And you can assign those to the subs, that sort of thing, all from throughout. And then the way to view all tasks across all open projects, I'll let you show that, Jane. Up at the search, up at the top left is where you can access the alls for everything. So there's one for tasks as well. So you can organize it by who you need to look for or which team member, and then it'll show just their tasks.
So yeah, you could filter it up at the assignees under team members, and then click who you want to apply. And then so you'll see all that team members' tasks in one place.
Perfect. We don't have a way to share the punch list with a customer right now. I believe there may be a way to export it and share that with them, but we don't have that functionality yet to share the punch list. But we are planning to add that, especially as you guys probably know, we have contractors on Houzz Pro too, and a lot of them want to be able to give it to clients to be able to upload their own list of things. And so we're planning to add that functionality. It does notify your employees of their tasks via email. So they will get notification about that. Let's see. Could you show how to add a template into a project? So I think that we were looking at like the tasks when Kirsten asked that question. So if you wouldn't mind showing that, that'd be great.
Yeah, so anytime you go into a feature that has the template option, you can just click into it. So for example, tasks and punch list, when I click add task, I can click use template. Same goes for a proposal or a, what else would have the templates? The invoices, you can pull that up, schedules. You'll just click into the bottom drop down and you'll have the template option and it'll pull up the saved ones.
Yeah, that's perfect. And then, let me see. There was one question earlier. Could you go back into 3D and just quickly show Michelle about adding exterior designs? So like landscaping, pergolas, pools, that sort of thing.
Sounds good. So under, I believe this is where the pergolas were.
Yes, the pergolas are in generic products, so you can add those in.
Oh, let me add that out here, and I can customize the design. Okay. So I'm just going to drag that here, but the fabric color I can choose. Oh, the fabric color I can choose here. We have random colors that you can choose from. And then the finish. And I'm going to take a walk outside here. Oh, let me set it back. Sorry, I should have drawn an outdoor space first, but there is my pergola that I've customized. Same thing with the pergola 2 and pergola 1. If there's anything that you need, you can always submit it to our product team. They're always open to the feedback. The exterior walls, I can click into any wall. Again, if I want to do multiple walls, I'll just click the wall and click Shift on my keyboard and mass select those. Under wall style, I'm going to go to exterior. And then we have different options here. So if I want to go into stone, we have those stone options like this. And then I can go back. If I want to choose some wood siding, I can, just like that.
Awesome.
And then one more thing, I believe we have the pools. Yeah, so if I wanted to add a pool, oh, let's not put it there. I can rotate it here and change this one to some pavement. And then I can customize the pool size right here. Hope that answers your question.
Awesome. That's great. And then Mignon asked about 12 by 12 pavers. Do you know if we have those? I know that there's a lot of different finish options, but I don't think you can layer them on top of each other.
I don't think so. So you can create a new space for it by doing a room split or just by drawing a new outdoor surface. I don't think you can layer them on top of each other though.
Awesome.
Yeah.
And then last question, could you just pop over to the financials tab and show Leah where we have the reports so that they can use those to manage their projects?
Sure. So we have a lot of reports here. A lot of my pros like to use the payments and the incoming transactions by project. If I click into this one, my pros like to use this to see the balance on each project. So you can kind of filter them up here. You can filter it by a custom date or by quarter. We have the projects that you want to pull up, even down to the columns, what kind of columns you want to see. So I can customize this. And then once I'm done, I'll click Generate Report. So these would be the incoming transactions report. Then we have somewhere right here, we have the payments report, payouts. And then if you guys are doing any team member billing in Houzz, you can pull those reports up here as well. Okay.
Awesome. Perfect. Okay. If there's any other questions, feel free to drop. Okay. There's one from Leah. How about reports on purchased products or open tasks? So open tasks, you would just use that all tasks feature and you can organize it to see all the open ones. And then let's see, reports on purchased products. So you could use the selections tracker to do that. So you could just organize your selections tracker and view the things that are marked as ordered only. So that's the way to do that. That's really your procurement tool. So you could just use the filter up at the top, this order tracking. So if you'd marked it as ordered, you could kind of organize it by that and then just view those specific items. That's the best way for you to view like a report on your purchased products. We don't have the P&L functionality right now, Kat. We have discussed bringing that into Houzz Pro, but we do not have it yet.
For the project tracker too, after you're done finding exactly what you like and doing your filters, you can also export this as well.
Totally. Okay. Awesome. I'm going to send out a couple more polls before we wrap things up. If you guys don't mind answering for those for us, that helps us a lot when we're planning the next series. So we super appreciate everyone being here today. If you have any questions, feel free to drop them in the chat. We are still here and able to answer questions for you. I'm glad we got to spend a lot of time on 3D today because that was the feature that people were most interested in learning about. Thank you, Jane, for presenting to us. You did a great job.
Of course, thank you. While you guys are here, I want to show you some resources. So on the left-hand side, we have a black bar and a question mark. If you hover over this, we have a lot of resources here for you. The first thing I want to go into is the Help Center. We have so many articles and videos here. If you start typing something in here, it's going to pull up a lot of different options for our articles. My pros tend to love the Help Center. And then under the question mark, we have Houzz Pro Training. So we have, academies like this, but we have also webinars that are a little more frequent. So you can click register here. Under that question mark, we also have training right here. Oh, sorry, not training, certifications. You can get certified. So if you finish the certification course, you will get a little badge on your profile and can show off to your clients that you are certified in the software. We also have our blog where you can find a lot of our articles. We update these regularly with new blogs. If you ever want to see what other designers are doing, you can hear about their experience here as well and what kind of tools they like to incorporate into their workflow. And then lastly, we have the events here. We actually had an event today in Southern California at the Ganal Lumber location in Torrance. And so you can sign up for these as well. We're also at IBS every single year in KIBS.
Yeah. And I don't think there was anybody that's in New York, but if you are, we are going to be at ICFF next week. I will be there in person presenting. We're having a little event from 4:30 to 6. It's going to be at the Oasis Lounge at the Javits Center. So please come join us. We'd love to see you. All right. Thanks, everybody.
Thank you, guys.